Hello and welcome to the Coaches Show. This is Gary Livengood along with head basketball coach Barry Sanders. Coach, nice Christmas.
Yeah, got better last night.
Got better last night. Well, Happy New Year to you, and hopefully that you have a prosperous and a healthy and a happy New Year.
As long as we keep winning games, that's prosperous.
Yes. I want to say a special get well to Mike Smith.
Yeah, he's
protege. He's not doing too well health-wise, so
I miss teasing him.
Yeah.
I miss teasing him.
You missed him last night.
Well, he was under the counter. I couldn't see him.
So, Mike, get well.
Yes.
You're on the road again last week to University High School. Rival, not much love lost between the two schools. University High was 2-1, and we're 4-0. And you go over there, and it starts out a pretty physical ball game in the first quarter.
Well, they come out and hit 2 or 3 threes right off the bat. You know that's lack of our defense, but still they hit 2 or 3 threes right off the bat, and I think they scored 13 points in the first quarter, and we had 16. So we're up 3 at the end of the quarter, but really we held them to the next 2 quarters, 2 and 2, 2 in the second quarter, 2 in the third quarter. But we threw a ball in bounds with hardly any time left, and he tipped it in for a layup to give them 4 points in the second quarter. So we clamped down defensively, and I think Cody had the first 7 points of the third quarter, and Colton and Murray were dominating the boards and doing the things we needed to win the ball game. But at first, I just think we had to get used to it. You know, we don't like University High, and they don't like us.
You played great defense. You really contained the University High School shooters, especially the Harrison boy. Every time he'd drop outside, you had somebody all over him.
Well, I don't think he's as effective inside. I mean, he could be if he was a little more dedicated to being a post player, but he wants to be a 3-point shooter. So it didn't matter if a guard was covering him or a post was covering him. When he's outside, you just get a hand in his face. He's not as good a shooter with a hand in his face.
You held him to 2 field goals all night.
Yeah, he had 24 the game before because I watched it. He's had 25 at one time, so he's probably averaging 20 a game, and we held him to 6 or 4, whatever it was. I can't remember. I think it was 6. Colton and Murray did a great job underneath on him, and the guards did a good job on him out front.
And you held University High School to 4 points in the second quarter, and you take a 25-17 lead going into the second half.
Well, I think we coming out halftime was a little more intense. We pressured a little more. And like I said, Cody got the first 7 points, so we weren't throwing it into the post at that time. We were, taking the ball and running and playing defense.
And you held University High School to 2 points in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And then you started bringing your bench players in. A lot of playing time for your bench players.
You got to get the other kids some playing time when you can. I mean, we have big games, and I expect the Murrays and the Goffs and Wagners and Thompsons and Conics to play 30 minutes. 32 minutes.
Yeah.
They're in good enough shape to do that. I just think in the bigger games, I'm not as confident in my bench. And kids got to understand that. If they don't understand that, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm playing here. I'm here to win. And whatever it takes to win, that's what I'm going to do.
You kept mixing up your defenses in order to confuse Coach Engel's offense. And it really confused them. They were out of sync, and he played great defense.
He had 2 sophomore guards out there with Cunningham and Dixon. Both got confused because we'd play looks like a zone into a matchup and looks like a 1-3-1 into a trap. So it would mix them up.
Yeah.
You can't do that to the good teams as much. I mean, you didn't see us doing that last night. There was none of that 1-3-1 trap on Morgantown because they'd ate it up. I mean, they're not stupid. They know what to do against it.
And you tried to play the 1-3-1 a little bit against University High School.
And it trapped. We probably got 5 or 6 steals out of that.
Yeah.
And it uses Cody's quicknesses and Goff and Murray's height when they trap. So it makes a difference.
And of course, Murray had an off night.
Yeah, I'd say
offensively against University High School, but he played well. He rebounded well. Murray he still had 14 points. You still had 4 players in double figures against University High.
Yeah, we'll be consistent scoring all year. There'll be a game that or 2 that Goff or Murray or somebody breaks out for 25 or something like that. But most of the time it's going to be consistent because people are going to try to shut down my post game. Well, the guards are good enough that they can't do that.
Yeah.
And I just think it's going to be a consistent. I'd like to have 5 guys averaging 12 points a game. That would be my desire right there. I would love to have that.
Oh, the opponents wouldn't know who to guard.
Well, just like Tom said last night, he said, if Wagner and them boys hit threes, coach, you're awful tough.
Yeah.
He said, we can't double Goff, we can't double Murray, we can't handle him singular anyway. So, and Tom's one of the strongest teams we'll play other than Wheeling Park.
Yes, very physical.
You know.
Murray had 14, Thompson 12, Connick 10, Golf 10, 14 for 21 from the foul line.
And if you see who missed them, I think Murray missed most of them. He's just not shooting good from the foul line. We're having practice today. I hope he stays around, shoots 100 foul shots just to, get it back his stroke.
Win 405 for you, Coach.
Oh, I don't count them.
Well, you don't, but it still, to me, is a milestone for you. And in, 27 years? 28 years you've been coaching, and there's not too many other coaches in the state of West Virginia is going to have over 400 wins in their sport particularly. Finally, you're at home.
You have to 4 away
The
games.
Morgantown Mohegans, pardon me, undefeated, 2-0. Preston Knights 4-0. The Mohegans come into Knights Castle on Monday night. And again, a big rivalry, not only because it's the Mohegans and Morgantown, but because Tom Yester, we grew up with Tom up in Terra Alta. And a good ball game. I mean, it was very exciting, a very, very physical basketball game.
Yeah, it just tells you that, you tell the young kids that they have to lift and get strong, and if they watch the game like that, then they realize why. If you don't lift weights and get strong, you can't survive a game like that. Because referees let it go, which is fine with me. I don't mind because my boys are strong. They can let Golf and Murray bang all they want. That'll be fine with me. And I don't care if they get banged on.
Yeah.
Because in the long run, they're going to win because they're stronger, tougher, and much better mentally. You got to be good mentally in this game. If you play a tough, hard, rough game, you've got to be mentally tough because you can't let your mind overload your body. You just play the game. If they're not going to call this, then you do this. And that's
again,
what these boys do.
It was a great 56-48 win, a low-scoring game. Both teams played great defense, and there was no tempers lost. There was the boys knew that this was the kind of game it was going to be, and of course they had played each other probably numerous times during the summer. They knew each other, and you could see them grinning at each other, laughing, or patting each other on the back, or slapping them on the butt as they went down the floor. So the sportsmanship was there, and the boys knew, hey, we're here to play basketball.
Yeah, and both teams were very, very good sportsmen. I mean, I thought our boys got hacked a few times, and we hacked them a few times. But they all come out, shaking hands or patting each other on the butt and saying, nice job, or, being complimentary. And that's what you got to do. I mean, like I said, when it's tough and rough, you have to be mentally tough. You can't lose control. You can't lose sight of the thing that you got to working for, and that's a win.
My only concern in the third quarter, I saw some of the boys bending over, pulling on their pants. Well, and that means, and of course, practice. With this weather the way it's been, I don't think you've had but 1 or 2 practices in the last week or 2.
Well, we had 3 this week.
3?
3. The 3 we practiced.
Were they all legal?
Oh yeah, 3. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we practiced. Now we played Thursday, and then no practice Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But I figured that'd be the best thing to do to Morgantown because they don't get practice Friday, Saturday, Sunday either. And usually, if we miss practice, they'll practice because the snow days don't affect them. But I didn't practice my kids real hard this week. We just made sure we went over a lot of stuff. These kids are in great shape. I don't think they're in the greatest shape as they could be. In other words, I think all of them could be in better shape. But they've worked hard over the season. They're in good physical condition. They're smart.
Yeah.
And they know, well, I got a ball game tomorrow. I can't go out and mess around and stay out all night, or just like Murray got up the other morning at 12:15, and you seen how he played against University High.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't get up at 12:30 and play a ball game. I'm sorry. I don't care if the game ain't till 7:30.
Yeah.
You got to get up 7:30, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, get your breakfast, get everything functioning. Time it gets to 7:30, then you're ready. I just don't believe in sleeping in.
The first quarter, 15-13 Preston. You're kind of feeling each other out, especially defensively. And, of course, Morgantown High was playing that tough man-to-man defense.
Oh, yeah, it makes our boys know that everything we teach them about vertical cuts and V-cuts and how to get open, they have to do that. If you don't, Morgantown, you're not going to get open. And now we missed Golf a few times, and we probably missed Murray a couple times. What all the kids got to understand is the guards have someone on them too, and they don't want to turn the ball over. It's hard for them to pass in there too. Yeah. But the object of our game is to get it inside, and so far this year we've done a nice job.
I saw a lot of John Beeline back cuts by Morgantown High, and you were not covering on the weak side as well as could
We
be.
didn't do a very good job. We didn't do a very good job helping. And now, as the game progressed, we started talking more. You know, somebody's not going to cut one way and not replace that way. They're not going to just leave that side of the floor. There's somebody going to come there. You know, so
Yeah.
somebody's got to cover this guy, and somebody's got to cover this guy. Just talk to each other.
We saw a couple of nice slam dunks by Morgantown High on that
Yeah.
weak side.
We had Price made at least two,
Yeah, and Adrian had one, I think.
and no, Adrian didn't have any. We wasn't going to let him have them. Now we had golf open twice for dunks.
Yeah.
That would have been short dunks that we
Yeah.
fumbled. It wasn't a turnover, but we fumbled it, and then we had to just keep a hold of it. Both of them. One would have been a lob dunk, easy, and the other one Murray kind of fumbled, and he got possession of it, and we got it back to the guard. But
Third quarter, you come back out and play again fairly even. You're up, 1 point, 11 to 10 into the third quarter, and you end up going ahead 38-35. Again, nice ball game so far. Again, still very physical. Not many fouls called,
no,
except Morgantown did get in foul trouble and put us on the 1-on-1 early on in the second
and also
half.
there was two different drives that we fouled them on, that we knew we had. I told them in the huddle we had 5 fouls to give. Well, if someone's beat you, slap his arm. They're not going to shoot a foul shot on it. And I think Cody did it once, and I think Clinton did it once. And maybe a post player did it once. I don't remember. But, if you have fouls to give in the last 4 or 5 minutes, you use them to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
Someone beat you, fouling.
Yeah. And Cody's probably got skin marks all over his arms and elbows and shoulders. I mean, that kid was hustling all over the floor. And Bronson Connick, I tell you, after he made that first tray,
Yeah.
start the game off, the kid knew his role and he played it to a hilt and playing great defense on Berry Hill. And
Well, the guards
everyone
know
knew
what
the
they're
role.
supposed to do.
Everyone knew the role. It seemed that everyone was doing their job.
Well, they played together since they were in fourth
Yeah.
grade. They ought to
Yeah.
know each other pretty good. I mean, I'm just there to make sure they don't go crazy.
We outscored them 18-13 in the fourth quarter, but there for a short period of time in the middle of the fourth quarter, we started throwing the ball away.
Well,
Played a little bit out of control.
the good thing about throwing the ball away is we played great defense and got it back. We didn't.
Yeah.
We did not. In other words, just like New Orleans last night in Breeze threw 2 stupid interceptions, but he didn't let that bother him. He still drove him down the field and won the ball game, and that's what it's all about. I mean, you're going to have turnovers. Now, a couple of them were stupid, but every time we had a turnover, just like we did down Southern, we played great defense. We boxed out, kept them from scoring, and we got the ball back. So that's the key. I mean, I don't like the turnovers. God drives me crazy, especially stupid ones.
But unforced turnovers,
Just
yeah.
turnovers that shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Clint throws a long pass. I think it was to Murray, and all it had to be was another 1 foot in the air, and Murray's got an easy layup.
Yeah.
But it was 1 foot short, and you're ahead. So why take the
Yeah.
chance? Cody turned it over a couple times, but then Cody turned around and made a nice 3-point play. So, it's you just got to play defense.
But you beat a good basketball team last night
Yeah, I
in the
think
Morgantown Mohegans, 56-48. You go to 5-0 in the season, and I think last year, if I remember correctly, you started out 6-0 on the season. Your first loss was against West Fairmont.
Yeah, that was after a 7-day snow break.
Yeah, but
we can
anyway,
hope for no snow.
yeah, you're 5-0 right now, and headed into the Martinsburg Holiday Tournament, which we'll talk about here in a little while. So, Coach, very nice win. Point-wise, again, he had pretty even scoring. Cody 12, Murray 12, Golf 11, Connick 8, Wagner 8. Now that's pretty balanced scoring.
It's hard. It's hard to beat.
Yes.
That's and they came at opportune times. I think Clint hit a great 3 at one time. Connick and Sean Johnson.
Oh, come in there and got 5 points in the second quarter
It-
off the bench.
when Sean comes in, we usually try to run spread because that way he doesn't have to post up.
Yeah.
And I think we had a good penetration. He had a backdoor cut. Boom, got the ball, shot a layup, and
Yeah.
it was a tough layup too. And then he hit 3 from the corner. So Sean could be valuable as the year goes on, guaranteed. Maybe give Golf and Murray a 2-minute rest every once in a while. A minute and a half. As soon as I get enough confidence, kids just got to understand.
Yeah.
I'm that way. I expect Connick and Murray and Connick and Wagner and Golf and Cody. If I have to, I expect them to be able to play 32 minutes. And I told them that before the season ever started. You've got to be able to play 32 minutes. If you can't play 32 minutes at times, then you know we're going to take some losses.
Do you tell them, if you're winded, you need to come out, let me know?
I always ask. You all right? Golf told me one time that he wasn't, and I took him out. Okay. I think Cody told me once last night that he wasn't. But they've worked hard over the last 8 months to be in condition. The only one who hadn't worked hard is Golf. That's because he dislocated his foot. It's tough to work hard when you're in bed. You got to remember, they better watch out because Golf ain't came on yet. He's going to come on. I know. I know him.
He's just getting his physical conditioning.
And he's just getting these. I mean, you go 14, 15 weeks without playing basketball, and now he's been playing for about 4 weeks. You wait and see. Yeah. It's going to come. And, he's already leading the state in rebounding as far as the computer says. I got all that back into the computer last night. Well, Dane did. I'm not a computer whiz. I'm not a texter, and I'm not a computer guy.
Coach, in the first 5 games, your defense is playing great. You're only giving up about 43 points to your opponents.
That's pretty good.
That's triple-A ball. I'd say that's outstanding.
As long as we can keep doing that, I think we're averaging about 60 or 58, whatever it is.
Yeah, about 60, I think.
And
foul line again. Your foul line right now, unofficially, you're 66 for 95. That's below 70%.
Don't like that.
No.
We can attribute that to a couple players. And they're working hard at it. They don't want to miss fouls. Oh, Golf's worked hard on his foul shooting. What was he last night?
5 for 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now Murray's got to work hard on his and get his up where they belong. We have Cody and Golf and these kids coming back from last year. They all shot 75, 80%, except one guy, Clint Wagner. He shot 27%. So, and now Clint's shooting 80%.
Yeah.
So that's great. Clint's 8 for 10, hit 2 important ones at the end of the game.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And look at the scoring for the players. Pardon me. Murray's averaging 19, Thompson 11, Wagner 8, Golf 10, Connick 8. So you've got even scoring across your starting lineup.
Any one of those 5 guys can score 20. There isn't one of them that can't score 20 in a game at a given time. And it could happen. I don't care. I don't care who scores. I don't care if Johnson comes off the bench and scores 18, as long as we win. And I don't think these boys care. Points don't mean anything to them. And that's what makes them, you can see it at the ends of the games lately, the ones that are close. They just depend on each other.
Yeah.
I wish to God they'd start doing it in the first 3 minutes, not the last 7. I mean, they got to learn to play defense together like they have the last couple games for the entire game. I'm not talking the hustle. The hustle's there in the first game too. They're not talking. They're not helping each other. You watch every great defensive team in the nation. I guarantee you, they're playing defense help. They're always helping each other. Because one-on-one, there's too many good, great kids out there. I got 3 or 4 one-on-one kids. If someone ain't going to help them, they're gonna win too.
Yeah. But again, you start off 5-0. Pardon me. Pardon me. You start out 5-0. Good start. 4 of those 5 are on the road. And looking at the records, Morgantown High 2-1, Preston 5-0, East Fairmont 3-2, West Fairmont 3-1. North Marion 4-2, Elkins 1-3, University High 2-2, Logan 2-0, and from my knowledge this morning, Martinsburg has not played a ball game.
Yeah, they won enough. They beat Mel Brook from Virginia was number 8 to 52-45.
But there was nothing in the paper or anything about it. But and Tucker County's 1-2 right now.
Who Tucker lose to? Me.
Petersburg. Petersburg beat them the other night, and of course they're in the Elkins tournament tonight and tomorrow night. So again, the records of the teams, and we're going through and saw TJ at the ball game last night. Keeping track of him, he played 16 minutes and 130 to 103 loss to West Liberty.
He had 16, I think, or 15.
He scored 14 points.
He likes that. He likes playing offense all the time.
Yeah.
Sure in hell wouldn't need defense at 130 points.
And there's a big. They're in a big tournament coming up. He's headed back to Westland to play in the tournament.
Yeah,
here.
I think Ray's going to be with him, and Lori's going with Cody.
And James again is not getting much playing time up at Seton Hill right now, but Seton Hill, it'll take time.
Yeah. He's got to get to where he's stronger, and
he'll get acclimated and get stronger. Yeah. Looking at some of the scores, Elkins beat Grafton 77-71. East Fairmont beat Hampshire 55-48. West beat Buchanan 51-36, and turns around and loses to R.C. Bird 42-38. Morgantown, of course, beat Parkersburg South prior to playing us 85-45. University High beat Bridgeport 59-55.
Bridgeport's not very strong this year.
But the weather has just been playing have-ho with
that's going pretty good right now. We haven't missed a game.
So far.
Yep. If you remember last year, we'd missed one. We never did get to make that up.
Yeah. And looking at your schedule, again, you go down to Martinsburg tomorrow, and you play in the Martinsburg Holiday Tournament. Then you come back on the 6th of January, and you go to East Fairmont. Then you go down to Logan to play Logan on the 8th of January. And finally, you're back at home against Fairmont Senior.
8 out of 9 away. That's If we could come out of this, pretty good. That means we got 10 home games.
Yeah. So our next home game at tonight's Castle is on January the 13th.
That's our sectional rival, West Fairmont.
Yes, that'll be important because they've been
That'll be very important.
They've been a thorn in our side for the last couple of years.
Yeah. Well, last year.
Coach, you go down to Martinsburg, and again, Martinsburg probably very similar to Morgantown High. They just reload down there.
Well, they'll be quick. They'll start a couple sophomore guards. One of the freshmen, he was a freshman guard last year, played for them. They lost Chase and Darius and all the boys, Johnson, but they have the Ashenfelder boy back, but I don't think he's going to play. He hurt himself in football in the state championship game, so he's going to be out for a while, I think.
And Coach Rogers come right out and said in the paper, I expect to go back to the state tournament this year because he said, I've got the athletes and the team to do that.
He always does. And he lost 5. He lost 5 seniors, if I'm not mistaken.
A lot of returning talent, and he said they've been working hard in practice, but weather is just, right now down in the Martinsburg area, just hasn't been too cooperative.
He's missed some days too. They had my daughter said they had 9 inches. 9 inches in Hedgesville, Hagerstown. Whew. That's a lot of snow in Hagerstown.
Yeah, they're not as accustomed to it as we are up here in Preston County. Well, Coach, good luck to you, and I think you open up against Martinsburg, the host team, tomorrow night.
7:30.
And the winner of that one plays the winner of the Thomas Johnson Jefferson High.
Yeah, we'll get out and have a shoot around tomorrow. We'll shoot around 2 o'clock. Then we'll go have a pregame meal and get ready to play.
You were very successful against Martinsburg last year. You beat them twice, 68-52 and 75-49.
Yeah, it was. Boys played probably 2 of their best games that year, last year against Martinsburg, because Martinsburg went to the state tournament. It's just that's our goal. We gotta get there this year.
We're in pretty good shape. No injuries.
Like I said, Colton still plays with pain, but he's going to play with pain. He may be playing with pain when he's 25. I know a guy named Alan Sellers. He's 40 and still playing with pain.
Yeah.
And he hurt his when he was 23 years old, dislocated his ankle. And it's something that, mentally you just have to be mentally tough. Take your ibuprofen so that help reduce the swelling and pain during the game. And it's something you have to contend with. And like I said, he ain't even started yet. He's going to come on just like I know he will. He's playing great ball now, but it'll be better.
Yeah.
Are your tires in good shape? Will they get you through the winter? Well, see the tire lady at Rainbow Tire. She's got just the right tire for your car or light truck, like the Kelly Snow Tracker, Mastercraft Glacier Grip 2, Firestone Winter Force, the Mastercraft Courser MSR, just the right tire for you. And remember, studs are available at Rainbow Tire. Head to Rainbow Tire in Masontown, then you'll be able to go just about anywhere.
Rainbow Tire, the tire lady takes care of me.
Welcome back to the Coaches Show. This is Gary Livengood along with a special guest, Colton Golf. Colton, welcome to the Coaches Show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's enjoyable. After last night's basketball game, you ought to be stiff and sore this morning and hurting.
Real stiff and sore, yes.
An article by Ernie Galuski
Yeah.
was published, I think, last week in the Metro News sports section.
Mm-hmm.
What an article. It's entitled, It's in the Shoes.
It's in the shoes, yep.
And if you look at these, it's in the shoes. tell us about what the article and the pink and the yellow stand for, and how you come about wearing these shoes.
Yeah.
When Preston Knight's colors are silver and black.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing really in the shoes. I'm in the shoes, of course, playing in them, but really it's just the pink and yellow is for the pink's for cancer awareness, breast cancer awareness. Yellow's for Live Strong, Lance Armstrong, who battled cancer. I wear those 2 wristbands every day, and I don't just wear them just to wear them. That means something to me personally too, from what I've been through too. And I'm really just showing remembrance on my shoes for everybody out there who's been battled the same stuff I've been through. And
Plus, it's a special tribute
Yeah.
to someone very, very special in your family.
Yep.
Your dad.
my father, yep, heck of a great guy. Lost my coach, my best friend, and dad all at once, and I just am showing remembrance for him and make sure he's not forgotten.
And to live strong, and Lance
Yeah.
Armstrong, you know, I think that was his theme
Mhm.
with the yellow and the Live Strong campaign that he has.
Yep. He sure put on a good campaign.
Yeah. And of course, we know that pink represents awareness for everybody to know that cancer can hit anybody.
You can hit anybody anytime.
Yes.
Well, no matter what age. I mean, you just got to take the precautions to make sure you're healthy. I mean, exercise, eat right, check your moles, sunscreen. Don't lay in a tanning bed for 2 hours. I mean, you just gotta be careful.
So there's certain prevention things that,
Yep.
that you can do as an individual to not encourage cancer.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, and again, looking at the shoes, and Ernie did a great job, and it's in the shoes,
Mhm.
and Colton, you are to be commended for, again, remembering a special person in your life.
Yeah.
And quite a basketball player, and I'm sure you'll want to go on to the next level. And what are some of your future plans, possibility with basketball?
Well, my possibilities are getting a scholarship and playing somewhere, hopefully a D2 school. And if not, if I don't decide to do that, I'm just gonna major in what I want to major in and go to school for school.
So your intent is to going on to college and getting a degree, and
Yep. That was my main intent too.
and I know your dad was a coach and your dad was
Yeah.
a teacher, and
Uh-huh.
are you planning maybe following his footsteps?
Maybe. I tend to go in business and management,
Yeah.
and I'd love to coach someday.
Well, I'm sure you do a good job. You know, your
Yeah.
size that you are, what, 6'3", 6'4",
Yep.
and a big stud under the basket for Coach Sanders. So Coach Sanders, again, has a lot of respect for you, and of course your dad, Coach Sanders, knew your dad quite well.
Mhm.
And so Colton, good luck to you, and hope that everything works out right. So remember, it's in the shoes.
It's in the shoes.
Thanks for watching the Coaches Show.
And thank you, Gary.